Hello, everybody, it's Friday, so you know what that means! I'm glad you do, because I have no clue. Welcome to Fan Friday. Oh my goodness. This week, barely squeaking out the victory, the Patreon has decided we're going to play 428 Shibuya Scramble, which I know nothing about. I went online to go figure out what this game was. Apparently, it is a visual novel, but to me, it looked like it was an FMV game. And the controls, at least from what I can tell, are only controller, not mouse and keyboard. I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know what type of game we're getting into. This could potentially be wild as hell. So let's do it. This story is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents either are products of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously. Anything else you would have needed to know legally isn't binding anymore because the screen went black. Spike Chunsoft. Our logo is an excitedly confused skull. Oh? Oh my god. Take notes, Jesse. This is how your FMV game needs to start. Bum, 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 bum. Oh my god, this is incredible. I'm so overwhelmed, I don't even know what to say. I'm just sitting here silently watching. Just like, okay, take me through Japan. Deep in the heart of Tokyo, where am I going? Yo, those two right there are killing it. Those are the heroes so far. Oh my god. Give them a shout out. Is that the theme? Is the theme this? The world don't change so easy when you're in Tokyo. Come on down to Shibuya and let your cares go. There's trouble in Shibuya. It's gonna be bad downtown. There's trouble in Shibuya. What the hell is this? That was so good. It was like one nipple away from being a James Bond intro. Oh, I gotta read. Oh my god. Middle-aged man in a ski mask took several employees. Oh. The cinematography in this is great. Way better than what I expected. He'd already have his message out by now if he didn't have to press 9 3 times. Well, that is an unexpected ringtone. Oh my god! That was a bomb. That was an even more unexpected ringtone for a bomb. Shibuya's story is yours to tell. Well, so far, it's not going very well. So far, not going to... What the hell? As you play through the game, the various mechanics will be explained. Okay. In 428, you follow the stories of multiple protagonists at once. Your decisions impact their experiences as you read the story. What does the day hold in store? Their fate is in your hands. So this is a visual novel, but at the same time, real life? Is there a whole genre that I have not been exposed to? Because I am aware of the anime visual novel, and I'm aware of the FMV game. Is there a game genre that is the combination that has really only existed in Japan that I am just learning about? Or is this brand new? Is this like someone said, we have an idea. Imagine using the same technology that made Mortal Kombat, but to make an FMV visual novel. This is either brilliance or madness. I don't know. I don't know where we're going. Hopefully you can see them all through to the end. To start, you have two characters, Shinya Kano and Achi Endo. I hope that's how you say those. Let's begin by checking out Kano's story. Unless it's Kano, like Mortal Kombat. Do I have to? Oh my god. Nope, it's like, don't do it. But look at this troublemaker. So cool. Your soul is mine. All right, I'm in. Let's do this. Okay. Round 1. Fight. Incredible. Why did he start like I was playing a fighting game? This is amazing. Just 2 more minutes to go. Shinya Kano noted the time again on his watch, scowling at the slow creep of the second hand. The time was 9:58 a.m. Furrows of consternation creased his forehead. He wasn't nervous, but knew better than to expect everything to go smoothly. Keeping a level head was proving rather difficult. There was no room for failure. Lives were on the line here. Am I a cop? No, I'm a detective. From the mean streets of Shibuya. It's just fun to say. I'm probably saying it wrong, but Shibuya. I love it. He eyed his surroundings. He thought, we never really look at the back of someone's head. Hilarious. Also, more importantly, was the perp really going to show up? What kind of shoes does the perp wear? When? Where? Would he be coming from? How would he make his approach? Does he like J-Rock? Do you think he's single? The Shibuya Scramble was as packed as ever. Oh, is that what that place is called? The throng of people crossing this way and that, blissfully unaware of the dozens of detectives hidden in its midst. All right, another minute and a half. That's one of the detectives' voices. All right, another minute and a half. This is so crazy. I never would have thought of making a game like this. I guess it's cheaper than having it all drawn. Is it? I don't know. Kano, we're going to say from now on, glanced down at his watch yet again. A mere 30 seconds had passed. Detective Kano had been with the enforcement arm of Shibuya's criminal affairs section for a year now. But he'd never been part of an operation this big before. That's because he looks 16. He eyed the young woman standing beside the statue up ahead. She was small enough to get lost in the crowd, and she carried a nondescript attaché case. She was also kind of a cutie. Hitomi Asawa, age 19. Yeah, they all are young. They're about to say she made detective at 19. She's also brilliant, apparently. Master criminologist. The attaché case in her hands contained a full 50 million yen in cash. Yesterday, her twin sister. She was the girl who was knocking on the window. Maria had been kidnapped. This was the ransom payment. Unless the girl knocking on the window was... Alright, you know what? We're not going to go there yet. The culprit had called Hitomi last night at home, referring to her by name and telling her to wait by the statue of Hachiko... Is that how you say that? Hachiko? In Shibuya. It was almost time, but nothing. Kano was staring fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear. Come on, Kano, quit looking at your watch so much. What if the kidnapper sees you? Kano tried to look nonchalant as he lifted his eyes, but the scruffy character continued. You're too nervous, just relax already. You're the one acting suspicious, Sasayama. Kano frowned. Why would some homeless guy be talking to me? Yuji Sasayama, I hope that's how you say that, was the senior officer of the Shibuya Precinct's Criminal Affairs Division, 5 years older than Kano, and originally from New York. Some words and phrases appear in text that are blue. These are called tips. Oh, to underline the tip. Okay. Let's let you read some extra info. Okay. There are tips containing general knowledge and ones that are 428. Specific. Oh, okay. These are marked with that and 428, respectively. Official name, Shibuya Central... Am I going to get, like, knowledge about Tokyo? How lovely. But also the things that are not real. Responsible for the safety of approximately 200,000 people in 32 neighborhoods, including places I cannot and will not try to pronounce. Except Yo-Yo-Ji, which is just fun to say. Alright. Great. They always went a little overboard with the disguises. I don't know, he just looks like a guy in a military jacket. Like, alright, whatever. He claimed it was all part of the job, but word around the station is he just liked playing dress up. Hey, pal, spare some change? Sasayama lurched to his feet and shuffled in close to Kano. Hey, knock that off! Fittingly for the part, Sasayama reeked pretty badly. Well, ain't so suspicious now, huh? He clung to Kano with mock camaraderie, despite the younger man's attempts to pull away. Come on, Sasayama, cut it out! Sasayama's blithe confidence rattled Kano's nerves. Of course, there was good reason for that confidence. This was Kano and Sasayama's jurisdiction, but they were positioned good distance from where the handoff was to take place. Jurisdiction! A particular region over which a organization or a member thereof has control or authority. Refers to the areas under the jurisdiction of various police precincts. Metropolitan, that's the right word. That was like the metropolitan. That's dumb. I'm the dumb. At the pinnacle of Tokyo's police hierarchy has vastly more authority than local precincts, but since many officers wind up needing to work with both, the outright rivalry between the two isn't as notable as TV dramas may make it seem. The statue of Hachiko was surrounded by... Here's the thing. Is Hachiko the dog? Why do I know that name? Repeatedly to change the words. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Turn to reading the story. Okay. Yeah! Bronze dog. Erected in 1934. Famous because he loyally waited. Right. Other popular meetup spots around the station. The display car for the original Tokyo 5000 series as the Green Frog. And the Moyai statue by the west entrance. All these are very cool. One day I'd love to go. I don't know how to pronounce any of them properly, but one day I would love to go. Here refers to the Metropolitan Police Department. The Tokyo Police section responsible for managing 101 precincts within the city. Japan's largest police organization. In addition to policing Tokyo, it has various other duties and authorities for maintaining public order in the capital. Now, I'm not going to tell anyone how to make a game. But this is a lot of information that I don't know is necessary for the very beginning of, like... listen to this music! It's like, hold on. You should probably know what a jurisdiction is. Like, okay. I mean, you can tell me later, but alright. Kano and his partner were just there to provide backup if the kidnapper attempted to flee. Although, from this angle, his partner... That is a terrible wig. Is that a wig? Look at that. I would have I mean, you know what? Maybe he just has beautiful hair. Everyone so far has gorgeous hair. I don't know.
Look, just relax. We'll be fine.
Sasayama gave him a wink. A moment later, the radio squawked in Kano's ear.
All right, everyone, it's time. Keep your eyes open.
Oh, that's probably the wrong voice for that guy. Koji Kuze? Kuze? I don't know. HQ's operations director. Sure, let's look that up. Individual responsible for directing the operation. There, done. Until last year, he had been Shibuya Precinct's head detective and Kano's supervisor. We don't know when the perp is going to make contact. That's definitely his voice. Don't let your guard down. Kuze's low, gravelly voice echoed in Kano's ear. I love these two already.
You don't sound too worried, Kuze.
Kano winced at Sasayama's words. How could the man be so nonchalant? The appointment time had come and gone. Something should happen. Whap! Kano smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. The sound was louder than he intended. Though the suit hid his muscular physique, it did little to dampen the noise. He needed to stay focused. He might be called into action at any moment. The department handled abduction cases according to a certain standard investigation procedure. Was it an attempt to extort money, or was the motive something more personal? The answer to that question determined how they deal with the criminal, and based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, they probably weren't dealing with a professional kidnapper. Still, in all likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far, they had few leads on who might bear such a grudge. With the situation unclear, the plan was to apprehend whomever came to make the standoff on site. If the culprit ran with the money, there'd be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being.
Still nothing.
Sasayama muttered. Good, I took a chance with that. I'm pleased it paid off.
There he is! He's here!
Kuze broke in, his voice spiking into an excited chirp. Am I gonna... Kuze's particular vocal quirk. Whenever he gets overly flustered, excited, or panicked, he slips into childish register. Oh, okay, so he's like... He's here! Wait, hold on, He's here! Like that? Is that how they... Perfect.
Subject is a young male in his 20s, wearing a bandana and orange hoodie.
Kuze's normally calm and stoic was now squawking like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sasayama steeled themselves. They could see the subject now. A 20-something male nonchalantly approaching Hitomi to talk to her.
All right, people, be ready to grab this guy.
Kuze was stationed in a mobile command center not far from the intersection, keeping tabs on the situation via video surveillance from the camera team. The young man started speaking enthusiastically to Hitomi. The detectives watched, uncertain. Was this really the kidnapper? It looks like he's trying to sell her something. What if I say B? What if I press down and say B? The current choice will not impact any of the other protagonists. Yeah, it's not entirely clear. He's like selling her a thing. She's looking forward. He needed to get a better look at things. The newcomer held a bundle of letter-sized paper which he showed to Hitomi as he went on talking. He tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Undeterred, the man kept trying to foist it off on her. Hitomi refused to respond, becoming as motionless as the statue of Hachiko behind her, until finally the man gave up and walked away. Of course it wasn't him. Oh, look at him, he's like, guess it wasn't him. Kano felt the tension of the moment linger in his spine.
Guy must have been hitting on her,
Sasayama muttered.
I mean, she's pretty cute, and I guess you could look up hitting on her, but I feel like it's a universal phrase. Though, of course.
Something in Sasayama's voice made Kano brace himself.
She's got nothing on my Mi-chan.
Mi-chan was Sasayama's wife. They got married just last month. Let me tell you, Kano, married life is the best. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for yourself. This was Sasayama's favorite topic lately, and Kano was getting more and more fed up with it. Sasayama, come on, just knock it off, okay? The phrase had become a common refrain of his since the department partnered them.
Fine, fine. Let's talk about your girlfriend then.
Huh? Now? You can't be serious. Sasayama leaned in close again.
What's she like?
We're not having this conversation, Kano muttered, looking away.
Oh, come on.
Sasayama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker.
Show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen.
Huh? Sasayama paused for his phone.
You've got a pic of your girl on your lock screen, yeah?
I do not. But he did. It was scary how on the mark Sasayama's instincts were. Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of an investigation.
I'm investigating.
Sasayama chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kano's pocket.
Ooh, she's a hottie boom body.
His face scrunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen.
The heck is this?
Oh my god. It's not...
Ain't this Masami Nagahama?
What does that even mean? A national star tends to play the heroine in national morning soap operas or in national historical dramas. Her songs have been in series of national hits and even slated to host the year-end national singing competition program. Everything about her is national. Good to know. Kano realized he had to bite the bullet. No, that's my girlfriend. Her name is Rumi, and she's... Sasayama cut him off.
You're telling me this ain't Masami Nagahama, the famous actress that I definitely know how to say her name? Because this right here is Masami Nagahama.
Like I said,
you sly old dog. You trying to make like you're dating Masami Nagahama?
I'm not. I mean, I guess Rumi does kind of look like her. Sasayama let out a huff.
For real? You really think I'm gonna fall for that?
There's nothing to fall for, I swear. Sasayama scowled, unconvinced.
All right, then why don't you marry her?
Kano stammered. He had no answer. The truth was, he would have been happily married to her already. But there were obstacles that needed to be overcome. Like security guards and fences. Okay, playtime's over. Let's focus on the job. Sasayama handed back Kano's phone and turned his gaze back to Hitomi. Kano let out a quick, uneasy sigh. But his shoulders did feel looser. Maybe Sasayama had been trying to relieve a bit of tension. Maybe he should be grateful. But when they turned back, she was gone! Uh-oh. But now, several minutes had passed since the guy with the papers had gone away. He peered at Hitomi. The strain of her face was visible. In addition to the weight of the attaché case itself, the 10,000 yen bills it held weighed close to 6 kilos. Her slender arms must have been getting tired. Still, she refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life. The kidnapping case had begun the day before, around 7 p.m. Unsolved mysteries?
This is MPD Dispatch. Dispatch, yep. Shibuya Precinct is reporting a missing person, believed to be an abduction.
In Japanese law, the act of indirectly luring or deceiving someone into control of a third party is known as kidnapping. Using forcible threats or violence to achieve the same results is known as abduction. Subject is Maria Osawa, a 19-year-old student at, I thought that said Midi-Chlorian, at Midi-Chlorian Academy. Last seen in the LL Diner near campus. A man was allegedly seen forcing her into a car nearby. All officers in the vicinity report to the scene at once. Kano and Sasayama have been working a burglary case in the Jingume Ngume's 5th district when they got the call. The two arrived at the LL Diner at 7:15 p.m. At roughly the same time, several other officers showed up to secure the area, blocking off the entry to nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments.
Ma'am?
Inside, now that I see him without a wig, the wig seems more ridiculous. That's all. Sorry, I had to laugh. It just seems more ridiculous now. Inside the restaurant, Kano and Sasayama were met by the girl who reported the kidnapping. It was the victim's twin sister, Hitomi.
Could you tell us...
Wait, who's saying this? Someone sang it. Could you tell us about when Maria was taken, starting from the very beginning? Kano said, thank God. All right. Keeping his voice low. My sister and I, we were supposed to go to a party together today. Hitomi was trembling, her voice hoarse. But I messed up the time. I showed up right at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to. So Maria had gone alone to the party, a mixer for locals and exchange students. Hitomi arriving late and showed up just in time to glance out through the restaurant window and see her sister getting shoved into a car. She described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make. Why? Why would something like this happen to her? Hitomi held back her tears, but she was shaking all over.
Did you get a good look at the kidnapper?
Yes, it was a man, middle-aged. I've seen Rush Hour. I know where this leads. Always follow the rich white man. I know where this is leading. This guy, Leland Palmer. Trouble. Look at him. Already trouble. This guy. He did it. He did it. He did it. That guy right there. Case solved. We're done. We figured it out, everybody. That guy right there did it. That is the man. We do not need to play any further. That guy right there is the criminal. There was another eyewitness, Leland Palmer. He identified himself as a lecturer at Hitomi and Maria's school. He did it. If it's not the rich white guy, it's always the nerdy school teacher who definitely had the hots for Hitomi or Maria. Maybe both. Who knows? Maybe it's a weird twin thing. I don't know, but he definitely did it. I saw it too. It's like Hitomi says. I heard Hitomi cry out, and so I went to the window to look, and his Japanese was halting, as if he hadn't been in the country very long. I think that maybe the kidnapper's working alone, Leland explained, that he had seen the man shove Maria in the back seat, then clamber into the driver's seat. If he had an accomplice, wouldn't they have been driving? Neither Hitomi nor Leland had got a look at the suspect's face. Kano was interviewing others who had been on the scene, looking for potential witnesses, when his phone rang. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the senior detectives.
They've set up a task force for the investigation. Come back to the station once you have a handle on the situation here.
Barely half an hour had passed between the time the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force, roughly 150 people working on the case in the Shibuya Precinct's conference room. The main force at work is HQ's first Special Investigation Unit. Additionally, other detective sections, a riot squad, and investigators from neighboring precincts have been assembled. When Kano and Sasayama got back to the precinct station, Kuze had already arrived from HQ. He informed them that a response team in a case where someone had been abducted for ransom. Often, you make a response team to respond to it. Okay, Kano could feel a peculiar tension in the air. Unfamiliar with MPP detectives scurried to and fro around the Shibuya offices. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. An hour had now passed since the kidnapping. There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening call to the victim's home. He said the following: tomorrow, 10 a.m., buy Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister Hitomi bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. We all sat around eating bananas and drinking coffee. It seemed like a weird thing to do at the time, but this guy wanted to eat bananas for the footage. He said it was a character thing. His character loved bananas. Also, my partner, coffee and donuts. That's his thing. Did I mention we have a great printer? Have you seen these photocopies? Amazing.
Normally, the local precinct detective would have gone undercover in the victim's home. Kuze, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial, and had sent Kijawara along. The detectives disguised themselves as delivery people and movers to make their way inside without... What? We showed up at 10:30 p.m. dressed as movers. Arriving at 8:30. Still weird. That's outside of moving hours. The response team had come prepared to run a trace. By the way, if you know what a trace is, it's pinpointing the source of an incoming phone call. But there were no further calls. Now we're back here. Kano checked his watch again. 20 minutes had now passed since the designated time for the ransom handoff. The kidnapper had yet to appear. Crap. You think we might have spooked him? You wonder aloud. Hey, stay calm. Sasayama scanned the passing throng.
He's probably just playing with us.
Why'd this guy even pick this place? Kano voiced the question he had been asking himself ever since he had heard the kidnapper's demands. Sasayama shrugged. Figure he must have wanted to blend in with the crowd, nab the money and disappear before anyone knows he's there. Would be my guess. In that case, why not pick Shinjuku or Ginza? The big crowd didn't just benefit the kidnapper after all. It also allowed the police to use their sea of people to conceal their own operation. Right now, there were 50 detectives stationed within a 50-meter radius of where Hitomi stood. The kidnappers would be taking a major risk if his plan was to nab the ransom money and run. That's what bothered Kano. Any criminal with half a brain would know better than to do a handoff in front of Hachiko. You're overthinking things, pal, Sasayama grumbled. No, I'm not. Kano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. This was Kano's Dick Diary. Kano. He always kept it close at hand. Sasayama rolled his eyes. You book of penises again? He said. Kano ignored him, flipping through the notepad again. Ah, here it is. Dick Dictum. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. It was a favorite saying of Kyuzu Tateno, an assistant inspector from the Shibuya Precinct. Tateno? Tateno seems more like it. Tateno was the kind of detective Kano aspired to be. For the current operation, he'd been placed in charge of Hitomi's personal safety. He was in position to defend her as soon as ransom had been handed off. Of course, Hitomi hadn't been informed of how much protection she was under. There was a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper. I think Tateno has the right idea. Sasayama snorted quietly. Maybe. I mean, he's a great detective, don't get me wrong. But do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider? Again, Kano ignored him. It didn't matter if nobody else understood. Kano had faith in Tateno, as both a detective and as an individual. He had first witnessed Tato's brilliance during the standoff at a financial company 3 years earlier. A man had shut himself in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. While the others hesitated, Tateno unflinchingly doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building, where he managed to talk the man down and secure the scene. The others had been awestruck by Tateno's actions, and Kano, who at the time had been content to be a run-of-the-mill policeman, had found that quite inspiring. Still, you know, Sasayama murmured under his breath. As great a detective as Tateno is, it's not like anyone else in the world's ever heard of him. I suppose not, Kano said. So? I like bananas. I've ever told you I like bananas. That one guy in the office, he told me about bananas. They're great. They're delicious, and I don't know why they get such a bad rap. I like to eat them in big, big bites. Just cram it down there and see how much it can fit in before I bite. I mean, it doesn't really seem fair, does it? Kano shrugged. Being judged for eating bananas that way? It was a strange definition of unfair, really. I mean, you've got celebrity chefs and celebrity hairdressers and stuff. Why not celebrity banana eaters? Look, please. Can you just focus on what we're doing here? Kano rubbed his eyes and turned his attention back to Hitomi. What's the matter? Didn't sleep? Not enough, I guess. Did you eat? Didn't have time. Well then, can I interest you in one delicious banana? Between bringing supplies for the base of operations, everyone knows what that is. Why is this here? Why are these here? There are a lot of games that give you encyclopedic knowledge or things about the world you need to know, right? And I guess that's what they're trying to do here, except a lot of these, I simply feel like if you're going to be playing this game, you probably already know what a base of operations is. I don't know, it seems silly right now. Photocopying hundreds of documents and various other tasks, Kano had barely slept the previous night and hadn't gotten a meal in either. What have you been doing? Sasayama puffed out his chest. Saving up my energy for today. So you was sleeping? Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame.
There he is!
Wait, hold on.
There he is!
Kuze's voice chirped through Kano's earpiece. A man in his 20s wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag. It's the other guy! A young man had emerged from a crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He strode towards her, a sinister look on his face. He didn't match Hitomi's description, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some young street punk. Oh yeah, he looks like a street punk. With that recycling t-shirt, up to no good. That guy, what do you think, Kano? Sasayama whispered. Yeah, I think he's gotta be. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees, ready to act fast. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Could this be the culprit? Or perhaps. The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Hitomi, but she clung to it with a desperate strength. It was him! The detectives rushed in.
Whoa, hey, what the hell?
The young man cried out frantically and tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him bodily to the ground.
Target secured!
Oh, jeez, I think we got another suspect on the scene! Eek, he's taking the ransom! Kuze's hysterics made Kano spin around. Sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, at attaché case in hand. Oh, really? A foreign-looking man, eh? The mob of detectives scrambled to pursue. Before Kano could react, most of the men had run off, leaving him to look after the original suspect.
What should I do with this guy, sir? Might have some connection to the kidnapper. Should I bring him in? Huh? Sure, that'd be swell.
I'm on it. With the help of one of the remaining detectives, Kano brought the suspect back to Shibuya Precinct. How many times are we gonna have to go through this? Cut the crap! In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Achi Endo steadfastly insisted of his innocence. Why were you trying to steal the case? Kano watched Achi's face intently. Like I said, it looked heavy. So, that's my young punk voice. So I was just trying to help her out. It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy would want to help a pretty girl, but it was 2020. Times had changed. Maybe she didn't need his help. But Hitomi had just been standing there, hardly in desperate need. See, what was I saying? She hadn't set the case down, so I figured there had to be something important inside. An entry from Kano's Dick diary shot through his mind. Dick Dictum, 25. The tongue slips, grab it, and yank out the truth. Classic advice for a questioning. Something important, you say, such as... How the heck would I know? Achi spat. He huffed and slumped back in his chair. This standard textbook back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kano didn't mind. Chasing down criminals was all well and good, but questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of off-the-scene work went into cracking a case. Once again, he had Achi explain what he'd been doing, starting from the beginning.
When Kano finally emerged from the interrogation room for a short break, he learned there had been some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet, however, was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his Dick diary. Dick Dictum 54. Haste makes waste. Did my dad write this? He felt the tension subside. Remembering the right maxim always helped. It was like casting a magic spell. Kano returned to confront Achi one more time. You were there to act as a distraction, to mess up the investigation, weren't you? Huh? Achi looked a bit dumbfounded. What are you on about? Dick Dictum 55. The truth hungers to be free. You hungry? Got some katsudon, if you like. Japanese dish consisting bowl of white rice topped with bread, pork, and egg. Achi nodded silently. Achi devoured the bowl of katsudon with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright then, spill it. What's the guy after? Achi just shrugged. Oh, he murmured, a thick slice of egg laid in pork between his teeth. How many accomplices do you have? Kano asked. But Achi just shook his head and inhaled the food. Resignedly, Kano flipped through his notebook once more. Let's see. Number 115. Use the lights to your advantage. As the minutes ticked past, he found himself referring to his book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to tease out whatever his suspect might be hiding. The experience had begun to feel strangely surreal, their two voices echoing hollowly in the interrogation room. Eventually, Kano looked at the clock and realized that the questioning had been going for nearly 5 hours. He still hadn't made any headway. What was he supposed to do next? Tatsuno would know, but he sure didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting his teeth in frustration, he perused the Dick's diary like it was scripture. Number 116. The monotonous questioning was clearly tiring Achi out. His eyelids drooped like they were beginning to get heavy. Number 117. Get them when they're tired. Kano's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh? Achi's head slumped forward. Nodding off was basically the same as nodding yes, right? Got him! What? The young guy we grabbed at the handoff site? He finally confessed to the crime. What? What are you talking about? Kuze laughed in disbelief. We're just about to apprehend the mastermind here. Huh? Kano clutched his cell phone dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you, look, just wait there at HQ, okay? No, it can't be. They caught on that I didn't do actually any detective work? Did I just try to frame this on this kid? Am I a bad cop? After the kidnapping case wrapped up, Kano tendered his resignation. It was the right choice. He was later arrested trying to break into the mansion of a famed national movie and television star. The end.
You know, where's the payoff?
Bring the strippers and booze.
We do occasionally talk about video games.
Bring the strippers and booze.
Out of time for video games.
Bring the strippers and booze.
Oh, thank God, I don't need pants now.
Hey, JC, what are you doing? Not much. Making a fortune.
Yeah, now sing the music.
Bring the strippers and booze.
I'm here to ask and answer one simple question.
You got